the general manager who drafted you gave you the opportunity, along with Gruden, who's no longer there, as we know. But Mike Mayock's fired. How does that sit with you, Max?
Yeah, it's tough, man. Mike, the things he's done for me, like you said, he drafted me. He's done so much for me. Always looked out for me. Constantly just being there. His family, they've always been so good to me and my girl and my family, and I can't say how much I appreciate him. He's it's crazy. I was just in his office 2 days ago, had an amazing talk, and then the next day I got the news. So, we had a good talk yesterday, and he's going to be good. He's a great dude, and I can go on all day, but he's a special guy, and I just appreciate, everything he did for me and this organization. He's been awesome.
What did Rich Bisaccia do this year that kept everything afloat, Max?
Rich is one of a kind. He's, everybody's been asking what's going to happen, and everybody knows my vote. And I made that very clear. I love Rich. I think he's the best man for the job, and he's come in and done such an amazing job. We've won 10 games with a team that's had tragedy, loss, everything you can imagine. And he's found a way to get a group of guys to come together and win football games in January and December, which is rare. So, Rich he's the real deal. He's a leader of men, and that's all you can ask for.
Is it true he wrote handwritten notes after the loss to Cincinnati to members of the team? Did he do that? Is that a true story, Max?
He does that. He does that before every game.
What do you mean?
As long as he's been here, he will put a note in your locker before a game, and you'll just he'll say whatever, but obviously that's private. But
sure.
Yeah, I had one that was before Cincy. That was it's before. He's been doing it for years. So, obviously he's the guy that doesn't want to bring attention to himself. And somebody, I think it was his daughter or something, took a picture of him and put it on her Facebook, and it kind of leaked. And he was upset about it. He's like, man, I don't want to make it seem like I'm vouching for myself. He's one of those guys. He's so humble, and it's just incredible. So I just, I like to take the time to show him his appreciation, because he'll never do it for himself.
I think there's like 19 eyes in Bisaccia. So, I mean, okay. So, and again, I know you say it's private, but can you give me a general gist of what it's like when you go to your locker and you get a handwritten note from your head coach? What it portrays, what that means, Max?
Yeah, it's just special when you have the guy who's the head coach, the leader of an NFL team, and you get a letter from him. I literally just talked to him. So I go up and walk in his office like it's, he's my friend. I could really have those conversations. You don't find that often, and it's just special. When you have something like that in the building already, in my opinion, you should keep that. But what do I know? I just, I show up and do my job to the best of my ability, and it's just special having Rich here. He's a special guy.
Well, I mean, like when we spoke, I think a couple of times ago on a Zoom prior to the Monday night game in Los Angeles, that was week 3, I think, and who knew at the time that was going to be Gruden's last game as head coach with and for your team. You were saying that chemistry was better than ever, that guys were pulling together and pulling for each other more than ever before. So and the way things actually played out with Henry Ruggs and Arnett, the fact that you guys all did hold it together and won games, made the playoffs, and actually had a possession to try and win it, or tie it. You would know if Bisaccia's the right guy, to be honest with you, Max. Yeah, having, Rich, just Rich in the building, like even when he wasn't the head coach, he was always a guy you can go to. He was always there for me. He was my guy that on the coaching staff that I trusted, to go and have those conversations with. So, Coach Gruden, I'm not taking anything away from Coach Gruden. He knows I love him and everything like that. But at the end of the day, the players are the ones playing. And Rich cares about the players, number one, always.
You know, that's what he always says. He's like, the guys in the locker room are the most important. They're the one out there making plays. And Coach Bradley says the same thing. He's always preaching that. So yeah, you know, at that time, if we have guys that are playing for each other, no matter what happens and all the adversity, you can't win 10 games, you know, with guys that don't care about each other. You know, at the end of the season, you know, we go to Cleveland, it's freezing cold. We're 6-7. The only way we can do that is if we have guys playing for each other, and that's what Rich preaches and all these guys preach. And in this locker room, you know, no matter what happened, we just kept rolling with the punches, and I think people got to see that this year.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.